Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today we will be looking at each and every poll from every state. Rfkjr has endorsed Trump, so now he has a slighter advantage. So if a candidate is leading by 2 percentage points or less, the state will be considered a tilt state. If a candidate is leading by 3 to 6 percentage points, the state will be considered a lean state. If a candidate is leading by 7 to 10 percentage points, the state will be a likely state. And if a candidate is leading by 11 percentage points or more, the state will be considered a safe state. So in Washington, the safe states for Harris is California, Washington, and Hawaii. And the safe states for Trump is Alaska, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Utah, North and South Dakota, Nebraska at large except for its second district, and Kansas and Oklahoma. Sorry, Washington's actually not a safe democratic state. I'll get to that in a minute. Nationally, Harris is leading, but I'm sure that will change. Because Rfkjr has endorsed Trump. So the people who are voting for Rfkjr will now vote for Trump because he dropped out and he supports Trump. So in Washington, if you look at Washington, Harris is up by 14. Yes, that's a safe margin. But this was from July 24th. And that time Kennedy was still in the race. So now I'd say Washington will only remain as a likely Democratic state. In Oregon, though, that it's a whole other level. So the recent poll only has Harris up by 5. I think that's going to be the same margin we'll expect in November. Oregon can be competitive, but still, it's super shocking. It's the most Republican out of Washington and California, but this time it'll vote for blue, but by not such a high margin. Now in Nevada, a pretty important state, now we'll be looking at Nevada. So you can already see that Trump is making a steady lead. There's one poll by focal data saying Harris is up by 8, but then the previous poll shows Trump up by 2, and this is a blue thing. Maybe this might be a bit I don't think this is that accurate. So we'll keep Nevada though as a tilt Republican state. Then Arizona, nothing special there either. At least I don't believe that's happening. It's right now a tie. Maybe Trump having the slight advantage, and the recent poll showing by the same thing, focal data showing Trump up by 2 points. That's most likely the case. And Arizona will join Nevada as a tilt Republican state. I will just check the polling in Colorado, but there's really not much polling. So yeah, there's really not much polling for Harris in Colorado, but in New Mexico, Harris is up by 11, and this is by the Hill, which is very accurate. So New Mexico is a safe Democratic state, which is really surprising. But yeah, I think this poll is very recent, around the time where RFK endorsed Trump. So I think this poll is accurate, and it will be a safe Democratic state. Now Texas. There's really actually there is a recent poll in Texas that I would like to show you. The recent one has Trump up by only 5 points. So, yeah. I think, and this is like around a similar time, but either way, we'll still keep Texas, a lean Trump state. Alright, now we will be moving on to the eastern half. Starting off with Trump's safe states is Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, South Carolina, Kentucky, West Virginia, Indiana, and Ohio. And for Harris, she can count on New York, Vermont, and Massachusetts, with DC, Maryland, and Delaware, with Maine at large. Now, let's move on, and then also Illinois. And one more thing, the 2nd District of Nebraska, really not much polls, so there is a recent poll in Nebraska. We should check it out. So it only has Harris up by 8. Still, you're going to keep it as a likely Democratic district. Now, Minnesota. It's pretty clear that Harris is the favorite, especially when the RFK is... Walt is her running mate. So I think we are still going to keep Minnesota as a likely Democratic state. Then now let's look at Maine. And I forgot, the 2nd District of Maine is solid Republican. In the 1st District of Maine, I don't think there are any polls, but let's check. Oh wait, sorry. No, Maine is not a safe state. The 1st District of Maine is a safe district. And the recent poll is that it's a lean Democratic state. Then New Hampshire. Let's see if DDHQ has it. No, it doesn't. Okay, then let's look at this. New Hampshire. Harris is up by 5. I think it'll be a lean Democratic state. Now for Connecticut and New Jersey and Rhode Island. They're all just likely Democratic states. There's really not much polling there. But that really comes to show how red the map is right now. Now let's look at Virginia. So it clearly has Harris up ahead. So we are by 3 points. I will keep Virginia as a lean Democratic state. Now let's look at North Carolina. It's a tie. The recent one showed Harris up ahead. And this is like when RFK dropped out. So we can keep North Carolina as a tilt Democratic state. And now let's look at Georgia. It's saying Trump is leading by 4 points. But by a blue thing, it's saying Trump is ahead by 7. So if we combine those two, we can make Georgia as a lean Republican state. Then Florida. Trump is only leading by 5 points. So, yeah. Now let's look at our final 3 most important states. Wisconsin. Harris right now is the favored, so we can keep Wisconsin as a lean Democratic state. Then Michigan. It's showing Harris up by 6. A lean Democratic state as well. And finally, Pennsylvania, the most important state. And right now, it's showing that Harris is the current favorite. Surprisingly, Harris, in this scenario, wins the election. But keep in mind that this may be only temporary. And normally Trump is sadly underestimated in the polls. I don't know why, but he is. Probably because news people don't like him so much, so they try to underestimate him. At least some polls do. But either way, in my video, Harris is gonna win the election. And if you look back here in the national average, it shows that Harris is leading today. Harris leading by 49.5 percentages, and Trump is only up by 45. Because Trump is trailing with 45.9 percentage points. But Harris is winning so far. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I'll see you in the next one.